Have you ever prayed for something so long that you started wondering if God was even listening? Maybe you prayed for healing, a job, a breakthrough, or for someone you love to change, and it felt like heaven went quiet. But what if I told you that God always answers prayer, just not always in the way we expect? Stay with me, because in this video, we'll uncover 3 powerful ways God answers our prayers, even when it feels like He's silent. And by the end, you'll see that sometimes His silence is not His absence, it's preparation. Sometimes, God's answer is yes, but not yet. We live in a generation that wants everything instantly. We want Amazon Prime blessings, fast, trackable, and delivered on time. But God is not a vending machine. He's a father, and fathers care about preparation more than speed. Think about Joseph in the Bible. God showed him a dream of greatness, of ruling and leading. But before that dream came true, Joseph was betrayed, sold as a slave, and thrown into prison. To him, it must have looked like God had forgotten. But in reality, God was preparing him for the palace. So when you don't see answers yet, remember, delay is not denial. God's yes sometimes needs time to grow roots before it bears fruit. If He gave it too early, it might destroy you. If He's making you wait, it's because He's building the strength in you to handle what you prayed for. The second way God answers our prayers is through a loving no. This is the hardest one to accept, because no often feels like rejection. But many times, it's redirection. Here's a real-life story. A young woman prayed passionately for God to make her relationship work. She thought He was the one. But things fell apart, and she was heartbroken. Years later, she met someone else, a man who truly loved and respected her, shared her faith, and built a home centered on Christ. Looking back, she said, "Now I understand why God said no. He was protecting me from something that would have broken me." Sometimes God's no is the most merciful thing He can say. Because what you thought was perfect wasn't part of His perfect plan. Isaiah 55:8-9 reminds us, "My thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways." So, when God says no, don't lose faith, trust His perspective over your desire. He sees the full picture. You only see the moment. And the third way God answers prayers is through wait, I'm working in you first. We often pray for God to change our situation. But sometimes, God is using the situation to change us. Think about Hannah in 1 Samuel. She prayed for a child year after year, weeping before God. But in that waiting, God was shaping her heart, not just to be a mother, but to raise a prophet who would anoint kings. There's something sacred about the waiting season. Because it's in waiting that your faith deepens. It's in silence that you learn to hear His still, small voice. And it's in patience that your heart becomes aligned with His will. So if God hasn't moved yet, maybe He's still moving in you. The waiting is not wasted, it's working. Let me remind you, kingdom citizen, God always answers prayers. Sometimes He says yes, and gives you what you asked for. Sometimes He says no, because He's protecting you from what you can't see. And sometimes He says wait, because He's writing a story greater than your request. So if you're praying and it feels like heaven is silent, don't stop. He's listening. He's working behind the scenes. And in His time, you'll understand why the wait was worth it. If this message spoke to your heart, don't leave without sharing it. You might be the reason someone else rediscovers hope today. And remember, we are not religious people. We are kingdom citizens. Let's keep bringing His kingdom to earth.